I'm delighted and honored to be here with you in Copenhagen. This is not the first time I've been here. I've been here many, many times before, if it is for my movie promotions or for coming here for bodybuilding and weightlifting seminars or just on vacation and so on. But I never thought then that one day I would get here as the governor of the great state and talk about climate change. So this is really terrific. So it's great, and this city, of course, distinguishes itself for being so clean that you can actually swim in its harbor, even though I wouldn't recommend it right now because it's a little cold, of course. Look around this carbon-conscious city, and you should feel hope. Copenhagen is often voted as one of the most livable cities in the world. So the question really is, how do we make the world itself livable and sustainable? Certainly it would be terrific if the world's governments reached an agreement and put hard caps on greenhouse gases, while generously helping poor nations who are least responsible for and least able to respond to climate change. Attempting to reach such an agreement is good and is actually very, very important. But why do we put so many hopes and eggs into the big international agreement basket, when according to the UN itself, up to 80% of greenhouse gas mitigation will be done at the sub-national level?
I think that so far we have progressed all right during the first 10 days. If you sort of dig under the surface of what happened yesterday, then we actually took it to a new phase, because we actually managed to get ministers down to work. We have now many, many ministers and heads of delegations consulting on 5 crunch issues: developed countries' mitigation targets, how developing countries deliver mitigation actions, the issue of securing finance in the long term. It's not enough just to talk about short-term finance, and bunker fuels and special circumstances of countries relating to mitigation.
How did it come to this? Why did it ever become so complicated? If your house was on fire, you wouldn't set a 2-year process in which you would debate what to do and whose the outcome would be determined by the least ambitious and the most slothful member of the household. Could you please explain to the world as to why it is so incredibly complicated and why it can't be made simpler?
Well, I'm not sure I'm the right one to explain it, because I've put the same question to myself since I 5 years back attended my first COP. And I thought there must be other ways of doing this. And one of the things that we have tried to do is to try to bring ministers much more into this process. And that is, for instance, what the Greenland Dialogue is all about, to try to bring ministers around the table to discuss this in a more political way, in order not just to have these very, very complicated, specialized things. And the reason why this conference this year is so utterly complicated is that we have set this deadline to say, now we must bring this to an end, or it could continue endlessly, just getting even more complicated for each conference we have.
The world's governments alone cannot make progress, the kind of progress that is needed on global climate change. They alone cannot do it. They need the cities, they need the states, they need the provinces and the regions. They need the corporations, the activists, the scientists, and the universities. They need everybody out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us regain our momentum. Let us regain our purpose. Let us regain our hope by liberating the transformative power beneath the national level. That can be the great contribution of Copenhagen. So thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you for your kind attention and warm hospitality, and thank you for the great passion and for the hard work that you all do. And it is very important that we continue with this work, so thank you very much, and I'll be back. Thank you. Thank you.